This is Roland Jean Charles from PMI JCM Realty Group, where we manage properties from an asset management perspective. Today, what I'm going to talk to you about is how to maximize your rental income with 5 additional revenue streams. Most property managers and even property owners, they only just get the rent, right? If the tenant doesn't pay the rent, then they're stuck paying the mortgage out of their own pocket, or they just lose the rent for that month. You know, and also another bad habit that property managers and owners have is that they never raise the rent, right? And so, you know, you have a property that's being rented for years with the same rent amount, even though the market rates have changed. And then, you know, lastly, they don't have any additional revenue streams in addition to the rent, right? And, you know, having additional revenue streams can definitely help with the bottom line, right? And so, you know, some of the challenges with raising the rent to get, you know, more income from a rental property is that sometimes it prices you out of the market, so you have to, you know, be mindful and cautious of that. But what I realized is that tenants, people in general, pay for value, right? So even if the rent is a certain amount, you can get additional revenue streams to add to your bottom line if you have value add services that can help the tenant, you know, in life, you know, within the property in any way that that's possible. So today what I'm going to talk to you about are 5 revenue streams that you can actually implement pretty easily to increase the amount of income that you get and improve your bottom line. So the first one I want to talk about is a pet fee, right? Now, about 85%, 85 million Americans have pets, right? And so that is definitely a great revenue stream for you to have, right? And so first you'll screen the pets, and then after you screen the pets, based on the results of that, you can determine what the price for having that pet in the home would be. Now, usually you'll charge a security deposit just like you charge a tenant security deposit. So that money will be held in escrow, and it will only be used if the pet causes some damage that you need to use those funds to fix that damage. But you also should charge a pet rent, right? And the pet rent can be charged either monthly or yearly. I like to charge it yearly because it's such a small amount, and you know, once the tenant pays it once, they kind of forget about it, and you know, you don't have to worry about them seeing that payment come out every month, right? So I like to have that paid once a month. And so if you charge pet rent, you'll definitely be able to increase your revenues and add to your bottom line, and make sure that you charge both a pet security deposit and pet rent for the year for that pet. The second tip that I'm going to talk to you about, or the second revenue stream that I'm going to talk to you about, is the credit reporting program. Now, for this, you have to have a relationship with a company that can report good credit paying history to the credit bureaus for your tenants. But once you get that set up and you get that implemented strategically, it is something that can really add value to your tenants, right? So let's say their credit is not as good as they want it to be. You know, rent payment is one of those things that never get reported, and it's one of those things also that tenants, for the most part, make sure that they pay because they need a place to live. And so when they are, you know, paying their rent every month, for most property managers and property owners, they don't get any value from that. By leasing with you, they do get a value from that, right? And you can help improve their credit with that value add service, and it's a small nominal fee you charge every month, and you can provide them with that service. So look into possibly getting your tenants on a credit reporting program. It'll add value to them, and it'll also add to your bottom line. The next one is the tenant change out fee, right? So sometimes you may run into situations, you know, and this happens mostly a lot of times with student housing, where a tenant needs to move out because they're graduating and they want to swap someone out so that they don't have to pay for the remainder of the lease, right? You can charge a tenant change out fee. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be a situation where it's student housing. It can be, regular, every day in an apartment building. And you just have people with different situations. They have to move for whatever reason. And instead of, getting, sued for the remainder of the rent contract or having to pay out of pocket to break that lease, they'll put somebody else in there in that apartment with your permission, of course. And of course, they would have to meet your criteria, right? They would have to pass your background check, credit check, whatever due diligence you do to make sure that tenant qualifies. But once they do, then you can charge a tenant change out fee. It helps you because you don't have to find a new tenant. They find one for you, and it helps them because they don't have to pay the exuberant amount of money to get out of the lease while still everyone getting a satisfactory result. So consider having that a tenant change out fee as well. Next is the documentation fee. Now, you may say, well, what is a documentation fee? I mean, to be perfectly frank with you, it's a lot of work to put the paperwork together for a tenant moving into a property. Even when a tenant's moving out, it's a lot of administrative things that need to happen. And so we charge a documentation fee to make sure we cover the cost of our time to do that labor. And you should definitely, think about adding a documentation fee for a tenant moving in. And even for owners onboarding, you should charge a documentation fee because it does take time to do that onboarding. And then there's the last one is the lease renewal fee. A lot of property managers and property owners, again, they don't charge a lease renewal fee for whatever reason. But there's a lot of things that go into renewing the lease, the negotiating the contract, getting everything set up. And so you should also consider charging a lease renewal fee. Now, you can look online for different price points for lease renewals, depending on what city and state you're in. They may be different. But if you add these 5 additional revenue value-add services to your portfolio, you'll definitely add additional revenue streams in addition to the rent that can help boost your bottom line. And it's going to help your property management company stay healthy and help you grow in the future. So again, this is Roland Jean Charles, PMI JCM Realty Group. Like I said, where we manage properties from an asset management perspective. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I do have a Facebook group that I would like you to join if you have any questions, and you can commune with other real estate professionals, property managers, and landlords who have questions just like you do. And you can help them, and you can help yourself move your property your rental management portfolio forward. I'm also going to be having a webinar. Please look out for that. A link. Actually, you can register at the end of this article. There's a link to register for the webinar, and also at the end of this video, I will be posting a link to the webinar as well, so you can register as well. And we're going to teach you in that webinar how to streamline your business to increase your to maximize your growth. So please join our webinar. I mean, I'm very excited. I may not look and sound as excited as other people that do these type of webinars or other people that do these type of videos, but I'm very excited. I definitely want you to join. If you like this content, I do have more content that I want to share with you. Please connect with me and we can move things forward. Thank you and have a great day.